How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Martian Report. I'm just going to do a quick little video today because everybody's losing their mind over Elon Musk. I don't even have my Twitter anymore. I've deactivated it. I tried to go into like stealth mode with it, but yeah, I don't like the kind of emotions Twitter draws out of me. It's toxic. I'm toxic. The environment's toxic back to me. It's a negative feedback loop, and I'm done with Twitter. It's just something about that short amount of space that I have to cram in information. Twitter's also an anti-intellectual platform, in my opinion. It does not incentivize coherent conversations, and everyone is in a perpetual state of ego, so having any kind of meaningful conversations is incredibly challenging, especially right now while everybody has just become incredibly wealthy and then suddenly lost it. Well, a lot of people lost a lot of money. And it's not really lost, as anybody who's a veteran to this space knows, and I think subconscious, or not subconsciously, logically, all of us understand, who've been here since 2017, since the original fallout, we've been buying in the dip. I think we all understand that, this is just part of the cycle, and those of us who truly believe in this asset class, we have an underlying level of confidence, because we've seen it before, kind of thing, right? And so it's just kind of upsetting, though, because we also have this hubris of the now hindsight being 2020, and having seen that, oh man, if I had just taken out more, or some, or whatever your position is, or positions of most people in the space before the market fell out, a lot of people are like kind of salty with themselves, and they're taking it out on each other on Twitter. And so I'm done with it. And even when the market's up, there's toxicity on being projected onto people who short, who went short at the wrong time, and now they're in a position where they feel obligated to say, no, the price is going to come back down because it needs to come on my price point, right? So that's kind of, I'm saying this because I'm leading up to everybody losing their mind over Elon Musk. And it's funny to me because Elon Musk is not the cause of the market dropping. Like, anybody who understands technical levels, once they're broken, then they're broken. And here's something I think most people either fail to understand about Elon Musk or just don't believe, because it's an affront to their sense of intellect, because he identifies as having a near perfect photographic memory. And considering how successful he's been and how many facets within fields of science he's exploring and funding and pursuing and able to speak quite eloquently on, even if he doesn't have the deepest level of understanding that the engineers and doctors that he hires, that's why he relies upon them, because he's a sound businessman on top of being an incredibly intelligent individual. And so when people will say that Elon's responsible for the market dumping because he made some jokes about the market dumping, Blockchain Backer, I just watched his video a little bit earlier. He's spot on. You're right on, brother. Right on. I agree 100%. He's just aware, because he's that smart. People, get over yourself. If you're affronted by Elon Musk being as brilliant as he is, self-evident through his extremely successful life, not just Tesla, not just SpaceX, not just now Neuralink is the scary thing to a lot of people, and it is a little bit frightening even to me as somebody who understands the neurological implications of these electronic interfaces, right? And I have skepticisms of my own regarding whether this is even possible, just from my own understanding, right? But that doesn't make me deny it, because I ascribe to, as many of you who've watched for a long time know, that there's a difference between skepticism and cynicism. I've said something to this degree before, and it's probably from some philosophical or anecdotal or idiom that I've heard at some point as a child or whatever that I'm just not pulling right now. But there is a very stark difference between skepticism and cynicism. And the difference ultimately, as a byproduct of behavior, ends up being, if you're a skeptic, then your intention is to come to understand, right? That means that you are pursuing knowledge surrounding the topic you are skeptical of. If you're a cynical individual, you outright deny and make no effort to do your own due diligence. Now, in regards to what's going on with the markets and with Elon and how all this, this ecosystem is behaving right now, that's why I actually pulled away from even making content again. I was getting so much, I get a lot of good feedback from a lot of you in my YouTube comments. I really appreciate those of you who do regularly watch and are encouraging. Thank you so much for your long-term viewership and support of my content and understanding, I'm just human like anybody else. I get confident in myself and believe whenever I have confirmation biases, whenever my biases are confirmed by environmental, I get arrogant. Anybody does. Everybody's head gets away from them, and I'm just publicly exposing that, I make mistakes. And I also understand that a lot of people felt that I was trying to capitalize on the market coming back up. And I felt like, well, fine, I'll wait till the market's feeling pretty battered, right? And now we're at a pretty pivotal point in the market, and the market's down today, so nobody can complain that I'm trying to capitalize anymore, right? I'm just sharing my honest thoughts with you about the energy, the emotional energy around the space right now and what's going on with the psychology of investors in the space before we move on to now. What's going on with the charts? What's going on with the price? What's happening in the world? Where are we in the greater cycle, right? Well, everybody knows. Not everybody. Long-term investors know that we, as a whole, the whole market, follows Bitcoin, right? Unfortunately, for those of us who hold coins like XRP or ADA or, soon to be Flare or, insert literally any other coin. Those are the ones that I'm really big on right now. I'm concentrated because that's what I do in dips. I concentrate into the coins that I believe are going to pop back the best, right? But I will be getting back into Link. I kind of regret my decisions with Link early on. I need to make a better allocation next time, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm not financial advice telling you to invest in any of those projects. I'm done with that, actually. But since most of you know that, especially XRP, since that's what I've spent most of my YouTube career covering, I'm still, that's basically everything, especially right now. But as far as what I think is going to happen, I was trading, so I have my big bag that I don't touch. That's my long-term hold, and it's the majority of my overall portfolio. It's probably like 80% of my portfolio is literally long-term holding XRP. And then I trade the other 20% in between things right now. And that's where I'm generating my revenue from to keep afloat during the bear market. Now, I say bear market, but I don't actually think we are in one. Why do I say this? Because I've been trading for bearish trend, right? I've been trading as if I'm a bear, and I'm getting wrecked. I was doing really good when we were in the uptrend. I don't know how I called the Wyckoff distribution pattern without knowing what that was beforehand. But it was evident that I didn't know what it was, because when it played out, I expected it to go up and it went down, right? So laughs on me at the end of the day, because all that money that I was able to make in the trading of the consolidation during the Wyckoff distribution up at the 150 plus range, all that went away with me trying to trade this bearish trend. So here's me admitting to everybody, it doesn't matter how well you understand technicals or the market. When there are people manipulating the market, it's incredibly easy, even for somebody who understands the charts, to get wrecked. And so that's what I'm now coming to say, that bears are getting wrecked. What does that tell you? It tells you that the trend is actually going to, most likely, not confirmed, but most likely going to pop up. This is almost certainly a Wyckoff accumulation. Now, if you look at the chart, we should actually be about, I think it's phase C. I don't have the ability to put this up for you, but if you Google Wyckoff distribution or accumulation pattern, you'll see a chart that goes roughly like, follow my finger now, do, 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 do. Now, if you see, this is where our peak was, or our previous peak was about here, and then we came down. Now, here's what happened weird with this one. Now, with the Wyckoff distribution, you'll notice that it actually peaks at its like that second rung up before we come down. I can't show it to you, but where we actually went with XRP and with Bitcoin and with a lot of coins, instead of actually peaking at in the middle of the first uptrend before we had our crash, our second crash, down to, for XRP, it was 78 cents, right? 76, depending on what exchange you're on. But it bounced up all the way up to this 109 range on a Bitrue, right? So that actually broke, and so we set a higher high. So we're either at the very beginning of this Wyckoff distribution, which could end up being multiple months, or the bullish momentum, the momentum to buy, and if you look at orders, it's actually mostly been green, and we had a massive increase in volume when the price dumped. So much volume flowed into XRP compared to where we were when we reached near that high above the the 120 range, right? So what I'm expecting is that this is an early indicator that we are absolutely like locked and loaded for a massive rally. Something is absolutely going on. The volume says something big is going on, and the price is 110% being suppressed right now. And so just like in a bubble, right? When the market's in a bubble, you know, eventually that overextended, that stretched out rubber band of the market being in a bubble, it's going to have to pop, right? And it's going to snap down and it's going to crash. Same thing when a market's being suppressed. And during the bear market, this is common knowledge. You know, we talked about this for years and years on this channel, and everybody talked about it. You know, I'm not the only person. Everybody's talking about it. You know, we understood innately that what we were doing during the bear market from 2017 until, from 2018 until just the end of 2020, when it became clear, truly clear, that we were out of the woods. We had that long-term mentality. We understood that the longer the run, or the longer the base, the higher in space. Kevin Cage says that quite frequently. I love when he references it, because he makes it clear it makes clear to you what's going on, right? We're in a suppression phase. This is the best time to gain exposure, right? To whatever coin. I'm using XRP because that's what I follow, but to whatever coin. Bitcoin, here's something I've come to the conclusion of. It doesn't matter what you pick in this space, because as long as you're not picking fiat, you're going to win long term. As long as the token you are investing in does not inflate at a rate greater than the current inflation rate of the fiat system, then you're going to win. You're going to come out better than most other people, because you're getting in now instead of in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, when what is a few dollars now will be hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. Who knows? You might get the project that's a unicorn, right? I'm not saying that you should take take risks with large amounts of money, but I am saying that most people in their life, this is why I hate that I have to say that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, because a lot of people don't even have basic financial understanding. And so this is financial advice, but I'm not telling you how to apply it, where to apply it, okay? You do you. If you don't have a means of generating high revenue, most people in the world, right? If you can't generate a lot of money, you need to be a minimalist. And when I say a minimalist, I mean what I'm doing right now, okay? I'm camping in my car. Why? Because I would rather sleep uncomfortably and continue to build my portfolio, especially in a down phase like this, than to take out anything from that, anything more than I need necessary to keep myself going through the day. Food, water, and gas in my tank so I can charge my batteries and keep up to date with what's going on in the market and adjust my positions accordingly, right? Bare necessities. Now, many people have families, many people have children, many people do not have access to this means. To those individuals, you just have to find the things that you don't need, okay? Everybody has them, and there's a lot of things which parents give to their children because they want to make that experience easier, right? I'm not saying that is bad parenting, but I am saying that's a cost in capital means which you could trade off for a energetic, emotional cost that would be involved with engaging with your children as opposed to giving them escapes from your home relationship. And I say this as somebody who loves video games, so I understand what a video game is, and like from a social and personal development perspective. I understand how toxic and cancerous it is, and I still play video games. Think about that. That's how bad they are, right? They're worse than almost any drug, in my opinion. And those are hundreds of dollars that people throw to those and don't even think about it. And a lot of people do this. A lot of older people do this with cell phone games. I like to play some of these strategy games online, for example, right? I'm going all over, but hey, if you're watching this, thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying my rambles, right? And the things that I'm trying to share, my perspectives. That's all it is. My perspective on what's going on in the world with crypto and in general, and how I see things. And it's really just to give you an insight into my perspective of how I shape my perspective, right? How my perspective of things is shaped. So in video games, right? In these little cell phone strategy games, most of the people that I engage with in them are in their 40s, 50s, older, right? They're not the millennials, they're not the iGen. They're the people older than me. I'm like at the end of X millennial, right? So that's why I have characteristics of both groups, but that's not important here. What I'm wanting to get to, though, is that all these people, all these mature adults, grown people with probably plenty decent enough income, who are still in debt almost certainly, and are still living above their means and not preparing at all properly for retirement, or preparing at all properly for the financial Armageddon. If they do have large amounts of funds, hopefully they're preparing, but most likely they're in a 401k or they're trusting some systemic order to manage their money for them, because most people do not want to manage that headache. And so, they don't even understand, the basic principles, such as don't spend $5,000 in a virtual landscape that you're not even gaining like an NFT. It's not even an NFT that you can like turn around and sell. No, it's a one-time purchase that you're throwing to a company. And I will log in every day to see how many of these gift packs I get in this one game I play. And the gift packs tell me how many people in my clan of 100 people made a purchase. So I'll log in on some mornings and I'll see purchases. I'll see that I have 35 gifts because 35 purchases were made within my alliance, and so those purchases give gifts to all the alliance members. That's how they encourage people to join these communities, right? And they're beautiful psychological tricks, but I don't want to get into that. But I'm just exposing to you that people who all these people talked about their most of them, and again, their parent age, they're in their 40s, they're in their late 30s, their 50s, so they almost all have children, the vast majority of them, and they talk about their kids and the costs and expenses, and they complain about their financial situations, they hate their jobs, and normal human engagement, talking about their lives among people who they're developing a communal relation with. And so it astounds me, though, to know that this is how the majority of people actually behave. And that's why, I make this content, because I'm no professional. I'm not somebody who, you should go to and give your money to invest for you, because I can't do it anyways. So if you can't legally do that, if I can't legally make that exchange with you, then that's the relationship you should understand that we have. I'm just your friend who's what is the term? Polymath is what came to mind, but it's autodidact, right? When it comes to things that I'm a highly curious individual, so I'm an autodidact by nature, and I have forsaken most of my monetary benefit throughout all my life in the pursuit of knowledge. And so I'm not friend for you, right? That's who I want to be for YouTube. That's who I try to be for my friends, who I tried to encourage back in 2017 to partake in these investment opportunities that I was seeing then. They ignored me. I decided to make a YouTube channel just to share with the XRP community. A lot of people liked me. Political season rolled around. Everybody hates me because I couldn't keep my mouth shut about my political views. And looking back, they were right to get after me about that, because the views that I shared were not even genuinely my own, but only the devil's advocate that I was playing to counter a narrative which I did not agree with, right? And I think that's what most people actually do in political season without realizing it. But I've kind of gone all over the place with this video, but this is the kind of content I want to make from now on. I don't want to feel restrained talking just about cryptocurrency or XRP or, anything, any one thing. I just want to, share my thoughts and maybe hopefully share something that you, as somebody who views my videos, finds valuable. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this very different kind of video from me from what I normally make. I don't even know what I'm going to title this, but I guess I'm going to put XRP in the title, market conditions, and then fun ending, right? Because we went all over the place, and this is kind of what a lot of the people in my old live streams used to enjoy that I would do. And I'm trying to be more courteous to anybody who has opposing views, because I do enjoy discourse, and I think that's why I enjoy playing devil's advocate, but I go too far, and I understand that, and that's why, as I said early on, I've gotten out of Twitter, and I'm not, if you make negative comments in the comments, if there are negative comments, I'm not even going to address them anymore. I'm not filtering them anymore, and I'm not paying attention to the comments. There are currently no means. I'm not going to disable comments. You feel free to share your thoughts about whatever I've said, and have discourse amongst each other. But I do filter hate speech of all kinds from the channel, and that's simply for algorithm purposes and for the safety of children or young adults who are reading bile, right? You can share your opinion without using slanderous terms or otherwise filth. You'll obviously notice that there are very few bots in my comments because I make it a point to filter them and ban them and get rid of them. It is a arduous process, and I understand why so many content creators do not do such, because they get thousands of comments. But I usually only get a few dozen anymore, so I try to keep that under control because I don't want anybody to be taken advantage of by these, what I and any veteran understand to be absolute frauds. But some people are new, some people don't understand, some people see the easy returns that they experience in bullish momentum and think that, oh, there's obviously people out here who have got this down to a science, but nobody really does, except for the whales who literally control most momentum, right? They can't overpower natural growth, though, especially natural growth of long-term investors, and that's what I hope to incentivize in anybody who views my content anymore, and that's why I'm going away from talking about any specific project. I'm going to continue to generally speak about cryptocurrencies, but the term, or digital assets, and I'm going to start using that term instead. I'll still say cryptocurrency, but digital assets will be probably the term that I use to blanket label any discussion. And if you know what project I'm saying when I say digital asset, when I make a reference to something, then you'll know. But if you don't do your due diligence, you won't know. And that's how I'm protecting people from making poor decisions based upon things which I say from now on. I want to provide quality, good content for anybody who views my channel. Not just because, I want to grow a good community of people who know that I have their best interest in mind, but because I want to ensure that when my content's viewed, however many years from now, I'm not being... I want to leave a good legacy, and I understand that my digital footprint is the legacy that I will leave when I am dead. And so, if I'm going to leave a legacy, my intention is to leave one which I feel is beneficial in whatever ways possible, even if it's only for limited times, but I'm going to try to begin to impart age-old wisdom in regards to becoming successful, because there is a lot of really good wisdom out there involving how to actually become financially stable, financially sound. And it's things that you can apply in your life today, and it's not going to be easy. Look at my situation, and I've been at this for 3 years now. But if you set a 10-year roadmap for yourself, there are very few things which you can achieve. And because of personality deficiencies which I have, my progression is hindered, is slowed. And so for many people who follow some of the things I'm going to share, you're likely to excel far faster than I do, and likely with far less sacrifices than I've made. My journey that I'm sharing from this point forward is really just to make clear that even people who rely on gig jobs right now and have student loan debt and all these other expenses that they perceive, and obligations and things of such, I want to begin to tailor to those individuals, because they're the ones who are disenfranchised by the current system which we live in, and I want to be known as somebody who at least attempted to be a liberator. Whether or not I'm intellectually capable of providing information of that degree of value will be seen. We'll come to see, right? But that's my intention, and I hope that you all continue to stick around and pop in for the next one. We hit the 30-minute mark, so I am absolutely done. Didn't expect to go on a second little 10-minute tangent there, but thank you all for tuning in to the Martian Report. As always, if you enjoyed my content, please hit the like. It helps so much with the YouTube algorithms, as you know. Definitely leave a comment in the comments description, especially if you made it this far. Pretty big deal. Not many people are going to make it this far, even people who enjoy my content. You know, I understand. We all lose interest so far through a video, and so not everything is easily digestible. I lose my attention after about 15 minutes, I know, unless I'm really into something, and then I can extend it. So what I usually do is play videos on 2x speed. I speak kind of slowly, so in future videos, definitely play me on 2x if you found this to drag on a little bit. Thank you so much once again for tuning in, and I will see all of you, as always, in the next one on Mars.